Good evening, everybody. Welcome. Dr. R here. Thanks for being here, my friends. Melissa, Cecilia, Janet, Darlene, Carla, Marcus, Kelly. Thanks for being here on a Sunday evening. And you must be sacrificing to hear to my ramble. But I welcome you. Thank you for being here. Something very deep in my heart I'm going to talk about today because it's something very much connected with my wellness philosophy of individual, society, countries, and the planet. So we're going to talk about planet wellness and what my view of what the fundamental thing is and how we could understand this and then contribute to planet's wellness. Okay. So if you look at the title, I put it like a living the life versus giving to life. You know, see, normally we are raised to, okay, you are born to have a good life, enjoy whatever you can, and maybe enjoy more and more. And that is the good life, right? Living the good life, right? And that is the modern viewpoint. You know? And then many people are raised towards that you have to survive, you have to live well, you have to enjoy yourself, and you have to really go to the distance to get the good life and then live the good life. And then you made it, right? So it's like kind of, they put it like a happiness you deserve. Happiness is out there, and go get it in things, in money, in experiences, and all that, right? So, but then uh, if you look at the cultures over the millennia that has happened, there was a time when that was not the case. This is kind of last 400 or 500 maybe years, that these things have come, right? Um, Especially in the parts I grew up with, right? So this is a core distinction, you know, this distinction flows through the heart of yogic philosophy. Okay, so they used to call bhogi is somebody who enjoys life, right? Whereas yogi is somebody who kind of gives back to life, and it's not enjoyment for him outward, it is discovering the enjoyment or happiness that is within. That's what the yoga claims to have done, and some people lived it that way too. So bhogi is somebody who is enjoying himself, experiencing himself, and all that. Okay, so their focus is drawn outward. So revealing all the richness and pleasures of life. Okay, uh, they kind of consider them as the gifts of life, and seeking experiences, comforts, and sensations that bring immediate joy and satisfaction. Okay, this approach is not without any merit, right? Uh, as it acknowledges the beauty and the abundance of life that is there. However, it remains tied to the things are ephemeral, that means they don't last, ever shifting nature of these external pressures. You saw one movie, you want to see another movie, you want to see, like that. But then it is diminishing returns, right? So this is kind of, it aligns with what is called bhoga. in Sanskrit, which signifies experiencing and savoring the offering of the world. That is bhoga in Sanskrit means. There are offerings of the world that give us experiences, that give us a really pleasure that we can savor and all that. Okay, uh, but the thing is, it the more you have it, the more abundant desires happen. Okay, so when you do the bhoga, it leaves one bound to cycles of desire and attachment, right? That we can see. It's not like a crime or anything, but it is there. But it becomes crime when it is hurting the planet. That's I will come to later on. Okay. Whereas bhoga versus yoga is yogi is say it's a embodies a perspective of giving to life rather than extracting from it. The focus is shifting inward, right? It draws upon one's own inner reservoir of bliss. See, that is there, but how you cultivate it is the problem, right? Uh, see, life energy is cultivated not to enjoy things or pleasures, but more like nurture the very environment they're inhabiting. That's a fundamental thing, right? Connection with the nature, reviving the nature, cultivating all that. Okay, so you can say these bhogi and yogi stages are, kind of different stages of life. First, you enjoy, you do, and then you want to contribute to it. But then problem has become this has only become bhoga all over the world. Everybody wants to enjoy, everybody wants to consume things and produce things and pollute the atmosphere. That's what is happening. We are seeing, and even science established the human activity has caused the erosion of our, ozone layer, erosion of our waters. All pollution happened because of the human activity. It's continued to happen. The plastic use, we can see that gross to small things, right? Industrial waste and then erosion of the soil, deforestation of the world. All these things are happening. We are seeing that. Okay, so what it is in yoga philosophy, when we have that wisdom of karma yoga, which is unselfish activity, basically, there is an understanding that through giving and selfless service, right? Giving and selfless service, we experience the highest potential. There is a joy, there is a real fulfillment and satisfaction when you really attend to this and giving to the life. Okay, so that's what I was going to talk about today, and I'm going to talk about some of the uh, things that we could consider, we could be aware of, and then we can make our inner life fulfilled, and that comes outwardly. And at the same time, we can be conservationists of the Earth's resources. Okay, so that's what I'm coming at, and I hope this makes sense to you. Uh, See, where the USA is, it is the chief promoter of this consumer culture. Everybody around the world apes USA. That's where the people in the USA have to reflect on themselves and see, are we just getting from the life or are we giving to life? Are we consuming all the resources of the earth? Are we contributing to revive them? You know, so I mean, so many institutions are formed, so many ministers are formed, and they have been trying to come together, come to understanding, and really help us to go to the greener economy. The Biden government had done a lot of money allocated to that solar, wind energy, and all that, right? But not only that, conserving the forests in Brazil and other things are there too. So it's kind of worldwide awareness, education, understanding about this kind of thing is very valuable. And other thing is, however much you pursue external things, you will end up wanting more desires, more unfulfillment and all that, right? Whereas if you can restrain that and then go inward and find your place, not only you're helping yourself, and also you're helping the earth and world. Okay, so your personal development, your personal desires, your personal fulfillment, all that should take a rest because our mother earth is in crisis. That's the way I look at it. Come up if you have any comments or if you want to contribute to this. And what do you think about my viewpoint? So it's just a discussion. It's nothing like a preaching or anything. It's just a putting a seed into people's minds to think about something very urgent right now. We are really in the crisis. We are at the peril of the planet. That's not like a spreading fear or anything. It's a fact. And people have acknowledged that, and science has been telling us since 1980s. At least I came to know through science since 1980s. If you take any of the scientific body that is related to the climate, it will tell you human activity is contributing to the erosion of the health. I think by people who are really wanting wellness should be promoting this wellness of the planet too. That's why I feel responsible about that, and that's why I come out and talk about it. One of the very remarkable statements I heard in 1980s was is still not realized. That is, I'm bringing you the statement. Jiddu Krishnamurti, and he was very involved in global issues. He was a global person, and he really transcended the limiting thoughts and all that by uh, being aware of the situation, looking at things as they are. And he said, "What is sacred." So that tells you how present he was. I will tell you how present. I will tell you what he said first, and then I will go and describe what he said about present. About the weather, he said, um, "Yeah, people can plan, people can do all that, but then they are not doing even the minimum of the minimum, right?" He said, "We need a uh, global revolution in consciousness, in our awareness of what is happening to the planet, and keep it in mind and live our life." So he said, what we need is a revolution in our consciousness about the planet. Okay, how many people think about that on a daily basis? How many people really conscientious about that? That's what he's talking about. Okay, if that kind of awareness is there and doing it, I think we are doing our part for the Mother Earth, right? So I always said two things only that bother me, that really interest me is one is planet, another is wellness. Wellness of everything, human beings, plants and animals, and also the societies, the countries, the planet itself. Okay, so planet doesn't mean only global human body is healthy. No, the planet itself needs to be well. We should be sustaining it. We should be reviving it. Don't go and rob resources like robbers. We need to put back all that the mother gave to us. We need to put back. We need to revive. We need to make them available to the children. Even in my own life, from the when I was born in 1955, right around 60 or 65, I come to know about the nature, living in the nature, enjoying the nature, the sunshine, the pure air and water. I lived that life when the things are not industrialized, not polluted, and all that. So in the agricultural communities and all, right? So that really helped me a lot to understand okay, this is the way we want to enjoy our nature and all. We were allowed to go out, we are encouraged to go out. We are always taught about the earth's generosity of a beautiful weather, beautiful water, beautiful air, and all that, right? And then from then onwards, now if I go, it has become concrete jungle everywhere you go, and it has become so much deforestation happening, air polluted, water polluted, seas polluted, even the sky, what we're putting into the space, that is also there. Okay, so this is a very important thing to consider, and important to really understand our role in it, and also live a life like that where you can do revival on each thing. You can do simple things like saving the rainwater and use that for consumption, and don't erode the topsoil of the earth. Don't destroy the forests. Contribute to planting trees. At least one person can plant one tree every year. And you see, all the planting that is happening right now, with so many bodies involved, it is 1% of what is being chopped off. So we could be aware of that. We could involve politically or otherwise, and then call our congressman and express this interest to go. Millennia and Z people, these generations are very much connected that way, because they sense these adults are not doing what they want to do, and then they are empty promises, and when it comes to the purse, if you put in the dollar, people are not doing it. All governments are not doing that much. Pollution happening from China, from India, from USA, and all the countries, right? But individually, what can we do? Can I discard, not don't use plastic at all? Yeah. Can I really plant a tree? Yeah. Can I save the energy from the sun with more solar uh, plantations, and then really manufacturing in a greener way? That I think Biden government has done. I'm very happy about it. It's going to come into vogue. So hopefully this will happen. And also one of the things I would dream is technology will come up with something where they suck up all the carbon dioxide so that our air will be cleaned, and then our acid rain will not be there, and our children will have a beautiful planet. That's what I would wish for, a beautiful planet for our children. Okay? So there's so much more in this. So I wish somebody comes and tells me that they have the same zeal about this, that we could really uh, be there for this. Okay, many people are not really true to their heart, are not involved or contributing or doing it daily, right? They will say that's not my life. My life is to make money, get things, and enjoy myself. That is the behavior, the enormous consumer culture that we created. Now, it may have started with the West, but then it spread all to the East too. So everybody is polluting, everybody is following this. But the cultures that had this kind of lifestyle where they were treating Earth as mother, and they have tried to revive it, those cultures had that hidden in their daily routines, are gone, because America exporting this consumer culture to all over, and they are stupid enough to ape that too. See, we are not happy because Earth is getting affected. Just because you're in America, you're doing these things, that doesn't mean that Earth is going to stay there like that for you. It is happening. Bangladesh is underwater, most of it, and you can see the toxic weather that we are seeing. People lament about only the effects that they have after the cyclone. Bad tragedy. granted. But then why are you only affected now? Why were you not thinking about this when they're talking, scientists are talking about since 80s? See, you can examine yourself. Was I ever concerned about this? Did I do anything in my life to contribute to the earth? That's what the question we should be posing to ourselves, and then balance it. Okay, from the bhogi to yogi, balance it. It doesn't matter. Sanskrit terms are there. Don't be prejudiced about that, but understand the concept behind it. Understand the principle behind it. And then you say, yeah, we are living on one earth as humanity. We have contributed to the destruction of the planet. Can we do, if I cannot do entire humanity, can I do myself? That's what I am always doing. What can I do on my part? What can I do? Maybe uh, live simply. Lots of time we give away things, and then we kind of want to recirculate a lot of things, right? And we're been doing that for a long time. And we take children to the trees place and show them how beautiful it is, the nature. Introduce people to nature and all that, not just for subjective knowledge, but then really the connection we have with that. They're part of the nature, right? So that is, it's not there just to loot out its resources. It is there to give us a life. It is there to give us joy. It is there to give us such a beautiful atmosphere that you can live in, right? And then you don't want to pay attention to this, and you want to take people to Mars and then stay them there because you already given up on this. I think that's kind of you know I don't I don't really appreciate that, because if you don't do enough monies to repair the weather here, and then put all the money in the space, and then go somewhere else, and then dreaming of creating something, that's kind of ludicrous in a way. So, any comments? Anything? Everybody's sleeping. Be aware. That's what it is. Uh, are you aware of this problem? Do you see it the way we see it, or do you have any comment? Just comment, participate. It's just a friendly discussion. It's not like I'm teacher and you are following. I'm just putting my viewpoint, and then you can come and say, "What do you think about this? How do you understand that human activity causing the problem to this, and how are you making changes in your human activity on the planet? Okay, are you just talking, or not being aware of it and really not unaware? So if you are aware, then you always do things according to your understanding, and your awareness of the problems and the understanding of problems and the solutions of problems. Technology has done so much in so many good things for the human life, so-called good things, because they make it easier. Whether technology is solving the problem or increasing the problem is yet to be determined. I kind of feel it may come with some like a solar technology. It will come with tools that will really help us to you know make it less polluted or decrease already happened pollution. I have the hope that it can do that. But then, even if you have a technology, if you don't use it, you see, I presented the other day one book by uh, Elizabeth Johnson, and in that book, she mentioned there are 1,400 techniques or available means to help the earth right now. So what she was talking about is, um, first look at what you can do best. What is that you're good at? Okay. And the second thing is, do that really helps you be joyful and happy when you're doing that. And then choose one of these available uh, ways of helping the mother earth. If you are interested, you should go and buy that book and find those measures and adopt one of them. And then if you are already doing it, very great, really good. But if you are not doing it, maybe consider using them. That's what I'm saying. Okay. So this topic, you should come and tell me what do you think about it. It is not a philosophy or anything. This is about our earth. This is about our life. This is what we could do to bring the good planet for our children, right? So I will invite you to come and participate and talk about it, and tell me what do you think. Okay. If you think this is not important for me, then too bad. Okay. I think this is important for all of us, this problem, right? So, so I'm waiting. Anybody comes up? Anybody wants to say anything about this? See, the vision of uh, this is important for us because we are on the peril of the planet, right? And if we don't do anything, they're already saying, the scientists, we are beyond the point. But what Elizabeth's book brought about was we don't have to be that pessimistic about that, but we have things to do. But what we need is awareness into this and then examining our lifestyle and see, am I really enjoying life without really bothering about reviving the earth? Or am I doing at least some of them, the balance? That's what we're talking about. And also, I am kind of optimistic, I'm kind of hopeful that we'll have more technological um, uh, progress to solve this problem, hopefully. But then the fundamental thing is the human activity, the rampant consumerism is the one which is contributing to the destruction of the earth. So unless we change that, even if we have invented technologies that can really help our health, this one will continue to pollute. So I think that is something in our hands that we could do, right? If you look at it, the distribution of funds are not there for the countries that are suffering now. See, you must have seen the discussion. What happened was the pollution happened, and much of the pollution happened because of the industrialization of the West and the China and India and all. Only few countries contributed a lot of pollution, right? But then the effects of that pollution, now all over we are seeing the cyclones, we are seeing the floods, we are seeing the fires, we are seeing the uh, earthquakes and all of that. But still, people are talking about drill, baby, drill. That's so irresponsible. That's so unconscionable with the things that have been done. We should be shifting completely away from fossil fuels. So that is why awareness of this problem with the intensity that we need to be aware is important. Okay. Finally, somebody wants to come up. That's good. Oh, Peter. No surprise. Hi, namaste, Peter.
Hey, Dr. Rao, how are you?
I am great, but I'm always bothered about this problem. That's why I come and
Yeah,
talk about it.
yeah, no, I understand. I hopped on a little bit late, but I did catch like the last 5 minutes or so.
Yeah.
Just kind of plugged in, but you touched on like the consumerism
Yeah.
and stuff, and I don't know how that changes. I believe it does at some point, but I believe the ones who are promoting this are making preparations for their survival and for their ancestry or their lineage to continue on. And it really gets under my skin, but the thing is, I think I really believe in the certainty of the goodness of the future. I really believe that life,
Yeah.
in its purest form, the great intelligence will remedy some of this.
Yeah.
But you know what? As much as I love this country, I was born and raised here, but it's just the thought that they're just the consumerism, the predatory commercialism, and what's the word I'm looking for? Advertising, predatory advertising, and this notion that more is always better.
Yeah.
And it just we're in this. We're in trouble. I think we're in
I
trouble.
think you are not there in the beginning of this talk, probably, Peter. Let me give you a brief, summary of that so that you will understand where I'm coming from. See,
sure.
West industrialization, all the human phenomena. Some countries did more, because of that power and all. Why USA is pointed out is it has the greatest economic power, military power, and the intellectual power. Everybody wants to come here. That way, takes more responsibility. But what I'm putting at the context is ancient versus modern. Okay, ancient cultures lived this giving to the planet. That's how I opened the talk. If you take the bhogi and yogi, those are the Sanskrit terms. Bhogi is somebody who enjoys life, live the life, okay, without really knowing that he's contributing to the destruction of the earth. He's just led to that. He was that our happiness is out there. Pursue happiness, they said, right? So people assumed, oh, if I get those things, I will have happiness. So let me work. We all were raised like that, right? Then when I came to know about how ancient cultures were, how they considered as earth is very important, and that cut from the nature has started in the modern eras. Okay, whereas we going up for happiness outward, ancient culture said turn inward. You have the happiness there, and that's why they had a simple life and a very rich inner life, right? So all I'm saying is this is a big thing I wrote about, but this is something you can look at and don't have prejudice like we are scientific people, that's why we know everything. Not real. That's not the truth. Even though as a scientific person, I'm saying that, what it is we kind of appropriate truth as we discover. We say, okay, maybe I said about liver this 10 years ago, but this current knowledge is this, then I'll appropriate truth as I discover it. That's okay. We're trying to live and all that. But the ancients had inner truths that were so good. Within the human being, there's so much capacity to turn inward to find that happiness, satisfaction, and everything. Whereas outward pursuits is like a diminishing returns. If you go and fulfill desires, you need to fulfill more desires. So that is a fact that is there. That's why bhogi versus yogi. Whereas bhogi is only enjoys and takes everything from the earth, yogi tries to not to do that, but also be within himself and also contribute to the revival of the earth. That's the context I'm talking about here.
I gotcha. Okay, thanks for me up to speed because I did miss all.
I think you should listen to from the beginning. I think you will enjoy that much better.
I'll definitely check out. I appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. Yeah. So, you said it's yogi versus bogey with the B.
Bogey, Bhogi. Bogey is somebody. See, once focus is drawn outward, and then revels in the richness and pleasures that life has to offer. Okay, this only thing is it's a path of enjoying the gifts of life. Okay, seeking experiences, comforts, and sensations, all that bring immediate joy and satisfaction. That is what we're going, and then we're getting more and more instant gratification. See, this approach is not without merit. I said, as it encourages the beauty and abundance in our life. It does occur, but the thing is, remains ephemeral and also ever-shifting nature of external pressures. The more you do it, the more you want it. It never has the fulfillment thing. Law of diminishing returns.
Yeah. So when you say ancients, I mean, I get like I'm thinking my mind goes right to India, and because what we talk about with
No, not really, not really, because ancient. That's why I don't want to be prejudiced about one particular country because
yeah,
I may know a little bit more about India. But if you take ancient cultures, what are they? Egyptian, African. You take China,
yes,
Japan, and
hmm
South America, even
especially, yeah,
Australian Aborigines, and you take American Native Indians.
yes,
They always said we are part of the nature.
mhm,
See the connections that they had.
yeah,
Their connection is so complete. I was listening to NPR one time, a broadcast on this earth, maybe in the 90s or something. They were
yeah,
talking about this icy areas that they know each ice formation every year they come, they are so totally aware of that. For us, it's all complete ice, only one thing. But for them, they know formation, so they know the nature so well, and they have adapted so many ways to nurture nature, to worship
right,
nature, to be, to really behave like I am the nature.
yeah,
How can you hurt yourself when you can really adapt like that? Whereas modern viewpoint is all these resources for my simple pleasures and satisfaction without consideration of the that is the one which led to this human activity resulting in major damage to our. And then
yeah,
suppose it's like this: you are in a plane that has a hole, it's going down. Do you want to sit back and enjoy your dinner? That's exactly what we are doing.
yeah,
Planet is peril, and the scientists are warning us. Very, I have been following that, from the 80s to now. They uh, to the rooftops they went and declared it. But many politicians, and also it comes to people, right? People have
yeah,
to have that awareness revolutionized within themselves. I don't think this can be taught with the force. This has to be individual human being really understanding what is earth, what is my role in it, what is, how can I help it to cultivate.
right.
See, I'm going
Well,
to tell
well,
you
so
something.
there's, so you talk about, so when I define ancient, like I was kind of thinking of South America, even when I said India. So you talk about ancient, you talk about them globally, right?
Yeah,
How to
global,
treat
global. See,
respect themselves, and they treat
yeah,
the land, and they love Mother Earth, for
yeah,
lack of a better term. They give back to it,
yeah,
and really treat it well. So something happened,
yeah.
right? Because people are people. Something happened to each one of those ancient cultures. And
Mm,
if you look back, history tells us that it's typically when someone else has come in,
mm,
colonized that area,
yeah,
and taken the resources,
yeah,
sometimes,
yeah,
if you don't convert to our point of view or convert to our doctrine or religion,
yeah.
the other option is you're not gonna like it.
You see,
But so there's a spirit of colonization,
mm,
um, that knows no borders.
yeah,
And whenever that's happened historically,
yeah,
right, you have the depletion of natural resources, you have the depletion of the identity of the original people that were here.
yeah,
And and that may rub somebody the wrong way,
yeah.
but I don't really care. Neither does the truth.
No,
But the
even
truth is what it is.
recent
But
examples that was happening, I showed several times. Bhutan, for example, before
yeah,
internet, after internet, market change. Before internet, they were happy with their Buddhist philosophy of no external hangama, like this
yeah,
different clothes. They have only one type of clothes that everybody wore, and also they had this inner contentment. That
right,
contentment is taken away by this unless you say what agreement we get, unless you have this new car you won't be happy, unless that kind of thing, right? So
right,
what it is not just uh, obviously colonization is a major thing in several countries, but then these ancient cultures, in each culture, if you look at, they survived somewhat, maybe low numbers, but still it is there. That's why we were able to understand these cultures were like that, and there is a way out of it, and we are being really not paying attention to that.
no, I understand
Yeah,
that, and I agree. understand what the facts are. I get it. Completely, thoroughly. But what I'm saying to you is, use whatever word you want to use, but there's an energy, and it's not it's a dark energy, that an energy of consumption that's been around since forever ago, where you go to somewhere that's not where you belong, and you go and you not only take resources, but you take people.
That dark energy you're talking about, Peter, is this outward going. The dark energy you're talking about is the outward going. Yeah.
I am completely on board with you. Like, so as a human being, if we go outside of ourselves and we're looking for things outside of ourselves, it continues. So there's nothing here in our physical world. So we go across to other lands and take that, and it just keeps going. And it's not, listen, it's not to any particular group. But it is to the human beings, or the consciousness, the part of the consciousness.
No, look at this way.
Looking outwards.
Look at
always
this
looking
way.
outwards. It will never
Peter,
be.
Sorry to interrupt you, but then there's a point I want to make here. If you take it, I don't blame individual countries, individual cultures, or anything like that, because it's a collective thing all over. If US promotes this consumerism, why India should be stupid enough to ape it, right? That is happening. So you cannot blame only USA promoting it. But when you have your own culture that was deep in there, why you are not adopting that and then cast this aside and come to this? That is the dark force. Darth Vader is coming, and they are attracted to the power and all that, without realizing what it is doing to them. So I live more Indian-like inwardly here in America than people in India.
I agree. I understand that.
So it's not a question of one particular area, but it's a question of the entire human race, why they are not aware of there was a good way within our own inner, it could be ancient, it could be any country, but it is there in our own human perspective worldwide. Right? We are discharging it because the people who are promoting these cultures and all, they may not even be aware that they are causing so much damage. Like, for example, drill, baby, drill. Where is that awareness there? That drill, baby, drill is causing all this problem. Fossil fuels, you have to abandon completely. We have the technology. 1,400 ways the green technology is there, but they are not adopting it. Either the poor countries don't have the money, or the rich countries don't have the awareness that we have to do this now, otherwise we are gone. I already, you see the toxic weather, how it used to be 2 cyclones.
I know exactly what you're saying.
No, count also 2 cyclones per year. From that to now, 2 cyclones per month.
Listen, if some of the poorest countries, quote unquote, poorest countries, are the richest on the globe with natural resources, but the people are abjectly poor. There's something, unless you're blind and you don't have a heartbeat, there's something fundamentally wrong with that. But what I'm telling you, what I'm trying to say is this: I'm agreeing with every point you're making. But what I'm saying also, we are lulled into this.
That's true.
We are lulled into this dream, into this sleep state, this matrix-like state that says everything's okay, don't worry about it. If you think for 1 minute the people who are doing the damage to this, the people who are making these products, the people who are running these different machineries and drilling all over, if you don't think they're intelligent enough to know what it's doing to the planet, then I'll sell you 3 bridges.
No, their selfishness overcomes that.
You're making my point. That's exactly what it's greed. Right.
That's a greed
and selfishness.
Exploiting people. Say, for example, this recent Glasgow, I think, where they gathered all the. I follow all that climate things, every day. So they promised like $80 billion to help these countries that are suffering the severest, storms and everything. Bangladesh, other people, they said your industrialization has caused the pollution. Now we are having the effects of the pollution, so you should be helping to clean up a little bit. You should pay. They agreed. Everybody agrees. USA, everybody agrees that's the state correct. And then, but we are all together. That's why we don't want to fight blaming each other. We want to come to a solution. That's why they said, okay, we will give $80 billion. And then all these years I'm watching since 80s, they always go back on the amount they agreed and they never contribute. That's what's happening.
That doesn't surprise me. I don't have any mad at because that's what they do. I'm not surprised.
Yeah,
If you're
yeah.
surprised by it,
Yeah. See, I'm a global
Yeah,
citizen, Peter, in true sense, because I don't want to us fighting among each other, but I'll come together as one world, one earth, and then have the contribution. I see this anger, enmity, and blaming people. We are past that now. We have to repair the atmosphere. Otherwise, see, the weather is going to be much worse. See, people are reacting to this now when they hit it personally. That is the sleeping that people have been doing. Where were you? Why are not you aware of this going on for 40, 50 years now? 100 and last 180 years, we've done so much damage compared to previous decades and decades of it. Why are we not aware of it? That's the question.
Well, because there's the next cell phone, there's the next hot thing on the internet. There's a show that comes on TV. There's a masked singer. There's the NFL football. There's a Super Bowl. There's any number of things you can distract your life with, right?
Yeah, all these people promoting technology, they should really look at themselves and say, why can't I do technology to save the world?
Some of them are doing exactly that.
Doing that.
But the main players, the ones who hold the strings, know exactly what's happening.
Absolutely, I agree with you totally.
Care.
Yeah,
that's the bottom line.
That is where
they do not care.
Yeah, that is where the inequality. As long as we identify that we are different countries, different people, and only we are the world's beacon of hope, and nobody else knows, that's going to be hard. So anyway, I am planning some further. I'm going to enumerate a couple of things that I was doing so far. See, I have this BA LLC, right? On this platform, what I do, I help to promote the holistic self-care and also offer tools to alleviate your burnout or stress. This is an act of love and service, designed to heal, empower others so that they can work for the earth and ourselves too. And then I do the morning wellness, the same thing, education efforts of ancient wisdom and spirituality, how you can live simply and live happily inward, okay? And then I really focus on the sustainable health practices, okay? Right. From diet to mind-body practices like yoga, so many things we do. And then I also provide care for cancer patients, end of life. That's a special thing we do. And then we have a proactive wellness movement and community building. I'm trying to put awareness into people about what is proactive wellness, right? And also, we have created a lot of content on burnout and leadership. Leadership, especially servant leadership, the people who are leaders, if they can serve the needs of others, that's the focus, serve the needs of the earth too, And then I personally practice non-violence. I don't engage in blame game. I don't engage in enmity or anything, but I bring the issues to people and say collectively we can do. And now what I'm going to do is this vision, really reach global outreach for proactive wellness. I got a speaking engagement. I'll be going around and talking about that. And then there are mentorship programs I want to create them so that young individuals can be brought into this awareness. No propaganda, just education and awareness, and continue to ask them to contribute. If you listen to the millennia Z populations, they have so many ideas that they can give to us. And then, of course, workshops I'm doing, of course, there are eco-sensitive health initiatives. I'm going to bring it on, okay? And then they will kind of environmental responsibility, like a plant-based diet, eco-friendly practices in healthcare, and mindful consumption to protect the earth. These are the things I'm doing, eco-conscious health initiative. And then a retreat for people who are of interest, come and discuss and contribute whatever you can. And then public advocacy of wellness-based healthcare will save enormous money for the country, and then you can use some of that to the earth and also our own research and education. Okay, that's why I'm go for the really wellness-based in that okay, mindful technology use for wellness education, okay, communication, all that. And then personally, I practice loving kindness and meditation regarding that, And the 10th one is, see, I'm going to other reflections on peace and inner fulfillment. I already wrote books. I'm not published yet, but then they were there. So these are all 10 things I wrote it down for myself, what I should be doing.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just sharing with you points. That's all.
I'm on board with everything you're saying. I'll support everything. Be a Pal is a nonprofit, I'm assuming.
Yeah.
Sense, if it is.
And it doesn't make any profit because we don't really charge anything except the wellness club. People come for the membership, and otherwise we are not really going for the money. We are going for the impact.
I understand that, but even to do that on a larger scale, it requires some bit of money. And my point is, I'm going to support that any way I can. But just if I could just dial back a little bit.
Yeah.
And I don't want to come across like I'm a hater, and I'm really not.
No,
I really don't stay in the space of blaming, because the only thing you're doing is bringing more energy to the problem.
Yeah.
But when you speak about why don't we know, why are people like this, then it kind of gets my skin up, because we as a people are especially in this country, of all that predatory advertising, that hypnotism, more is better. It is from childhood, and it's pervasive today. So
it's all propaganda.
We don't know.
Yeah, it's all propaganda.
We don't know.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is we do not know what we don't know.
Yeah.
And so that's why when we try all these things, and we try the next thing, and we try that thing and this thing, then you see the numbers of people dying by suicide greatly increase, because they've come to the end of the line. They tried everything, even what some of their doctors had told them, and some of the quote unquote professionals had told them to do, and it's still empty.
Yeah, it is. When I work with the people with the suicide, a very simple thing from the ancient thing is understand all that you are feeling, all that you're saying, everything is just a thought. And for me, thought is an object, because the culture promotes thought as a big deal, and you identify that. But then the moment you say, what is that I'm thinking, the only thought was a suicide instinct, and everything is thought. And from there, you can reverse that. And then you can, there are yogic practices just to be with the thought, just to identify that. It's called pratipaksha bhavana. What does it mean is, slow the thought, identify the thought as negative. If you cannot even do it when you're completely immersed in that, but you're separate from it, and then you can see the negative thought. Changing the negative to the positive is the age-old thing that they talk about pratipaksha bhavana. That is now cognitive reframing, they're saying, but then they are doing within the cognition. But you got to get out of that and then revive that. You see, those things are not taught in the modern times, because they forgot colonization. All these people tried to, because of the personal greed and all that, they wanted to, really remove the cultures like that. Their thing was, how can we destroy the identity with the culture so that we can rule and we can loot these people forever. That happened. I know, Peter, I know you.
It's happening. What I'm telling you, it's happening today.
Yeah.
Right here, right now.
Well, yeah, no doubt. Racism, and all this inequality.
They're not destroying the culture, and not cutting off the hands of the medicine man or the shaman. What they're doing is cutting off your ability to think on your own and to think clearly.
Exactly.
Because we've got the next game, the next thing to scroll, and keep looking outside of yourself.
Yeah. You take any institution, look at their vision, help for themselves, improve themselves, and then make more profits. Why should they be 1% of population has 90% of wealth in the country.
Agreed. That's why. Because, and
Yeah.
I agreed, but it's because we allow it to
Yeah.
happen. Because it's simpler just to go back to our lives,
Yeah.
right? See, the power is with the masses, but
Yeah.
we don't quite realize
That
it. You
is
see, like
that.
little hints of it.
I don't know. You heard about meeting J. Krishnamurti quotation? Have you heard of it? No, you were not there probably. What he said about the whole thing is this propaganda and all this thing. He said, what we need is a revolution. That means all people, a revolution in the awareness, in the consciousness of them. See, most of the people are trying to make ends meet and also struggle with the life, stressed and burnout, and then say, where only few people have all the money, rest of them has to work for their livelihood, just to eat. That another strategy. 25% of the resources are with USA compared to the rest of the world. And these 25% of resources are enjoyed by only 5% of the population.
Can you imagine?
That's the inequality. That's why even the talk of saying I'm Indian, I'm American, all that, I don't do that because I really feel that we are on only one planet, all of us.
Yeah.
This stupid ego identity, like, oh, we are the great people, where you are promoting all this kind of destruction all over the world, and you are treating your own people with racism, and then you have inequality. A lot of people don't even have meals unless they do 2-3 jobs. I'm very much aware of all that. So, but what
I love that.
Yeah.
I love that all the work you're doing, and with Be a Pal. I love the fact that you're focusing on the solution.
Yeah.
And you it's just like kind of when we watch our such, we're aware of the problem, we're aware of why things are the way they are, but they just are. We observe them and we keep it moving. We focus on the solution of pointing people into the light and pointing them to realization and knowledge of who they really are.
Yeah, I got an idea now, Peter. As you see, our yoga series we're going to do on Friday. We will start with this: what is to be like a yogi like, and how you can do without any money.
I can't wait.
Yeah, that I think from this talk we will do that. Maybe we can help the mother earth a little bit, in our own way.
I appreciate it. Thank you, my friend.
Yeah, thank you. Bye bye.
Namaste.
Bye bye. Yeah. Okay. Another. See, I was saying the last. Hello.
Good evening, Dr. Rio. How are you?
I'm good, Elizabeth. How are you?
I'm doing well. I am enjoying the conversation between you and Peter. That's a powerful conversation.
Yeah, we have become friends lately, so we are talking a lot.
I love it.
Yeah,
and I like your title of living the life versus giving to life.
Yeah.
That's very powerful words.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, that's what we do, right? We're going after the things that are ephemeral. They won't last long, but then we put so much. See, what my transformation was when I discovered everything is inward. I go there. I'm very happy.
Yes. When one is living the life,
yeah,
it's like if they have their values, their core values integrated with their goals and their sense of calling into all aspects of their lives.
Yeah.
So they take care of themselves and they nourish themselves. They make themselves better in order to give to life.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you are well, your mental state is well and is healthy, you are willing to give. And it's only the best thing to do, because when you give, you feel better. It's just the nature of us, of human beings, that when we give, we feel good.
Good. Yeah, that's the secret. You see, what it is when we go inward and discover this unallied happiness. People have not talked much about it. I talk about it all the time. Go inward, find out yourself. You don't need anybody. You can go there and all that, because that is something they don't promote. They want to promote, go and get this toy, go to get this phone or something, but they don't promote that inner joy can be cultivated by ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. We can be happy taking care of our core values without any material things.
Exactly.
I mean, the best things in life are free and are something that we can get, but we need to work on it.
That is so true. Things are free. Really, our peace, our communication. See, what premises will say, I embrace everybody as my own, and then I embrace all countries as one earth, and then we don't have any differences. If they can, promote that, wars will not be there.
Because like you said, we all are connected in one. We are all connected in the energy. We are in the same world. We are breathing the same air. We are feeling the same heat. So we are connected. We are embraced. We just need to know how to use that energy. It is up to each one of us to make sure that we distribute that energy according to our core values. If you want to be successful in life,
one practical thing, Elizabeth, one practical thing is we breathe out carbon dioxide and we take in oxygen that is given by the plants, and they take the carbon dioxide. So in that, we both are connected. They are our second lungs.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I love trees. I love my trees. I have trees in my backyard and I love them.
Yeah.
I thank them every day for being there for me. Exactly. I think they're amazing.
Yeah.
Yes.
In your photographs, I see trees that you are sitting in behind, and your photograph shows me trees behind you.
Yes, that's in the park. I took that picture in at Hayes Presidential Museum in Fremont, Ohio.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a beautiful park. If you ever go to Ohio, go visit that house in Fremont. It's beautiful.
Very good. Yeah.
Very nice. So yes, I strongly agree with you and what you're doing.
Yeah.
The yoga principles. I wish you could do yoga, but I always think that yoga is very hard to do. So
no, Elizabeth, join me on my morning routine. I do, and also today I did 5-minute yoga for entrepreneurs.
Excellent. So you do that every day?
No, every day, weekdays I do 8 o'clock Central Time. Come and join me. That's a routine that is given so that you can prepare yourself for the work. Simple things I'm putting there. But my wellness club is there. So many videos of me doing yoga on the Instagram, YouTube are there. But the thing is, I customize according to the age, according to the gender, according to the conditions that patients will have, and a lot of things. You can customize whoever you are.
Mm-hmm.
So all you do is this 5-minute something I'm going to do every day too. The 5-minute yoga for the entrepreneurs, because I have reverse engineering. What is happening to the entrepreneurs? How can I give them tools that they can use them to self-develop in inward resilience?
Right? Absolutely.
Yeah.
Anything is good, and the sooner you start, the better you have.
Yeah.
You will become.
But
you could start with 5 minutes, then you can do 10 minutes, and then 15 minutes, and so on and so forth.
That's the way to go about it. Don't do it all of a sudden so much and then not do the next few days. Every day, few minutes, 5 minutes, 10 minutes, that's good enough. And then once you start to enjoy it, then you will do it by yourself.
Exactly. Yeah. It's just like me when I started walking. I could not even walk more than 1,000 steps per day.
Yeah.
I was exhausted.
Yeah.
But now I walk over 8,000 plus steps a day, and I feel good, and I want to keep walking.
Yeah.
So I love that. I think all it takes is being consistent and being persistent and have a goal and have a dream, have a desire, have a passion in you.
Listen to this story. I say we have two elephants. One is our body, one is our mind, right? We go into bad habits with these big elephants, but you cannot fight with them. You got to train them slowly. Then otherwise they will turn against you, and then they say, I'm not going to do this, So that's the way modern culture breeds this elephant in us. Like they don't let us move, sit down and work, and also they want our mind work all the time. But my health principle is move the body and keep the mind silent.
I agree agree with you. Like this morning, I think one of those was fighting against me.
Yeah.
Because I didn't want to go walking this morning.
Yeah.
I had an important meeting to attend, a training that I had to give
Yeah.
on bloodborne pathogens. And my meeting was at 4 o'clock. And I wanted to go before 4 o'clock do my walk. And I said, no, I'm too busy. I need to get prepared. Blah, 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 blah. I was giving myself all kinds of excuses for not to go.
Yeah.
But then I said, no. Consistency and persistency needs to take priorities. So I decided to go and do my morning walk. And I got it done. And then I came just in time before my training.
Yeah.
And I got all done. And I feel
Elizabeth,
so good.
at least see my recordings on this Noom Web about the morning routines, or come in the morning live. Usually we do them first, and then at the end I may talk to people. But basically, we are cultivating something. There are 7 principles. For 4 things we do. What we do, we stretch our body, we deep breathe into those stretches, and we'll keep our mind here, and then we observe our thoughts. Those 4 things we do in the practice. But 3 things we cultivate. One is not to react to everything, and also cultivate an attitude of service, and cultivate an equanimity of taking both our wins and losses. This is the principle. I put it because a lot of people come with stress and burnout. They don't do these things before work.
Excellent. Very good. Well, thank you, Dr. Rayo. I appreciate your talks.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
You too, Elizabeth. Thanks for coming up. Okay. So that was nice. Both Peter and Elizabeth came up, and at least I know somebody is listening. And they take it easy. And so, anybody else wants to come up, you are more than welcome to come and tell us how you do, how you feel about all this. I feel that we are all responsible to save our earth. So I kind of put that as my priority, and I devise everything according to that. And also all the activity that I do, can that be eco-friendly or not. And then it becomes much easier to minimalize our external needs, and also spend more time on our inner richness. And as human beings, we have the intelligence. All of us have that. All we do is just be conscious about it, be sincere about it, and then we'll do that. So anybody else wants to come up, or we can close the room for now, and I will join some of the rooms myself sometimes. I will go and talk about it, whether anybody is coming up or not. But if there's a discussion where Peter came and contributed and Elizabeth came and contributed, that makes me much more happier about that. So thank you, and I will see you again tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Bye-bye.